Everyone in the circle knows I'm a die-hard follower of Jack. I'm obsessed with him, but he can't even bother to look at me. Until one day, I braved a typhoon to bring him some stomach medicine. Jack, arrogant and unbothered, mocked me in front of everyone. Mary, you think this is fun, doing this every day? Even a vet can't cure your sickness. Amidst the laughter, Logan, usually quiet, finally spoke up. Enough. If you don't like her, I'll take her. No objections, right? That night, I moved into Logan's villa as I had hoped. What Jack didn't know was, he was just a stepping stone. I had always liked Logan. Awakened by thunder, I received a call from Jack. Mary, my stomach hurts, bring me some medicine. His usual bossy tone. It sounded noisy on his end. Mixed voices of men and women, and the clinking of glasses. I bit my lip and looked out the pitch-black window. It's been typhoon weather these days. Stormy and rainy. Right now, I frowned, wanting to confirm. Before Jack could respond, I heard laughter. Jack, maybe she doesn't want to come. Didn't you say, if you told Mary something, she wouldn't dare contradict? Sounded like one of Jack's buddies. And then, more distantly, hey, Logan, where are you going? Hearing Logan's name made my heart skip. He was there too. Lost in thought, Jack's annoyed voice came back. Right now, if you don't come today, then don't bother ever coming again. He hung up without hesitation. I stared at the darkened phone and sighed. Reluctantly, I got up to change. Such terrible weather, impossible to get a cab outside. After 40 minutes, I finally reached the bar. Chasing Jack for 6 months, I knew this was Logan's turf. He owned this entertainment place as a hobby, but he himself was always clean and proper. All these years, not a single woman around him. Thinking of him made me inexplicably uneasy. Standing at the private room's door, I took a deep breath. Jack, Mary's coming. Won't she cry seeing you with girls in your arms? This girl is stubborn. We have plenty of good-looking guys, but she's fixated on you. And you're lucky. You don't even appreciate it. You really are something. She likes you genuinely, and you treat her like this. Hearing the chatter inside, I paused entering. Then, Jack's voice, slightly mocking. She brought it on herself. I didn't ask her to like me. With that, laughter erupted. Lips tight, I pushed the door open. The noise stopped abruptly. I immediately saw Logan in the corner. He seemed in a bad mood, nonchalantly flicking ash off his cigarette. His cold figure stood out in the environment. He glanced at me for just a second, then looked away. Then, someone knocked on the table. The clear sound snapped me out of it. Jack, here's your medicine. I placed the bottle on the table. A young girl sat on Jack's lap, in a tight dress, casually hugging Jack's neck. They looked very intimate. Why so late? Jack, with a hint of disdain. I pretended to be hurt, staring at the girl in his arms. After a while, I finally spoke. Bad weather, no nearby pharmacies. Didn't you say your stomach hurt? Why are you hugging someone else? Before I finished, Jack interrupted. I was kidding, we made a bet. $1 million says you'd definitely come. Stunned, I froze. What do you mean? What do I mean? Jack sneered. He casually pushed my medicine to the side. He tightened his grip around the girl, arrogantly. Being chased obsessively by you is annoying. I'm curious, do you find this fun? If I got married, would you still stick around as a mistress? More laughter erupted. His humiliation made me bow my head lower. Chasing him so long, Jack mostly ignored me. But this was the first time he spoke to hurt me so badly. My face flushed, trying hard not to leave. Enough. As Jack continued to mock, a steady voice came from the corner. Startled, I looked up to see Logan walking towards me. The atmosphere grew eerily quiet. Jack's lips twitched, looking upset. Logan, you. Using someone's affection for your pride, making her sacrifice for you fun, isn't it? Logan squinted at Jack. That look made Jack even more upset. Though Jack's background wasn't as strong as Logan's, being brothers for so long, this was the first time Logan publicly shamed him. Jack felt stuck. Logan, because she's pretty, you pity her. Jack sneered. He knew Logan was aloof and wouldn't admit it. Unexpectedly, Logan smirked. Yeah, I care for her, so what? If you don't like her, I'll take her. No objections, right? With that, gasps filled the room. I was still in shock, confused. Logan, known for being ruthless in business, had never shown senseless compassion. I was just a girl chasing his brother. For him to stand up for me, even Jack was surprised. His grim eyes flicked between me and Logan. The next second, he suddenly laughed out loud. Mary, everyone knows why Logan acts that way. Why embarrass yourself? Just stop bothering. Logan is incredibly busy. He has no time to deal with your matters. Before Jack could finish his sentence, I suddenly grabbed Logan's hand. This action made his expression change. Well, that's perfect. I just love troubling Logan. My affairs are none of your business. Mind your own. With that, I ignored the disgusted look on Jack's face, who looked like he had swallowed a fly. I held Logan's hand and walked out directly. In a corner where no one could see, I secretly curled my lips into a smile. Actually, everyone has been fooled by me. For a jerk like Jack, I'd only like him if I got my head slammed in a door. The first time I saw Logan was at my father's birthday party. He was in a suit and tie. I couldn't take my eyes off him as soon as he appeared. After that, I pretended to run into him by coincidence several times, but he seemed to have no impression of me. Rumor has it that he's not interested in women. There was even a bold girl who tried to chase him, but not only did he scold her to tears, her family's company was also in jeopardy. I just happened to like this kind of living hell. I did a lot of homework to win him over. I finally decided to use his brother Jack as a stepping stone. I knew Jack was always surrounded by women, but he didn't like my type. The more he rejected me, the more I clung to him, just to create opportunities to meet Logan. I played the part of a lovesick puppy, stubbornly sticking to Jack's side. Over time, Logan slowly noticed me. I thought it would take longer to reel him in. I didn't expect Logan to step in for me today. Thinking about this, we had already reached the elevator. Where do you live? I'll take you home. Logan's cold voice came. While speaking, he pressed the button for the underground floor. Such a good opportunity shouldn't be wasted. How could I miss the chance to be alone with him? Thinking this, I put on a sad face. I live at my friend's place. At this hour, she's probably asleep already. I rushed out too quickly and forgot my keys. I wasn't lying to him. I share an apartment with my best friend off campus. She has a summer job, and I occasionally stay there. This wasn't exactly a lie, right? Hearing this, Logan didn't think much of it. He nodded, and his tone, surprisingly comforting, said, "Don't be sad. If you don't mind, you can stay at my place for the night." I sniffled and lowered my head, agreeing. The look in Logan's eyes deepened when he saw me. I followed him to the underground parking lot. Maybe the air conditioning was too cold. My wet clothes clung to my body, and I sneezed inexplicably. The next moment, I felt weak at the knees. However, the anticipated pain didn't occur. Logan walked over quickly and caught me with one arm. His strong hands landed on my waist, sending shivers down my spine. "Are you okay? Did you get caught in the rain?" I had to run a bit to get medicine. Hearing this, Logan's expression darkened. Without hesitation, he carried me to the car. "It's no big deal, Lily. Don't worry. We're handling it now." At Logan's villa, after the family doctor diagnosed me, his expression eased. "Drink the medicine and get a good night's sleep." His cold voice came from overhead. Then, without looking at me, he left the room. Sitting on the sofa, I couldn't help but hug my arms tightly. Logan's room was just next door. Thinking of this made my heart inexplicably excited. While running the bath water, I heard a knock on the door. Opening it, it wasn't who I hoped to see. Lily smiled and said, "Miss Mary, these are the change of clothes Mr. Logan prepared for you. If you need anything else, you can find me in the guest room on the first floor." I bit my lip and thanked her. Disposable underwear, towels, pajamas, everything was provided. How could I not love such a thoughtful man? After Lily left, I soaked in the bathtub, feeling my body gradually warm. I wondered what he was doing right now. Maybe I should bother him before bed. This thought quickly formed in my mind. Half an hour later, I stood outside his bedroom. After hesitating for a long time, I finally knocked. It took a while before Logan opened the door. He was in a grey robe, rubbing his forehead tiredly. Seeing it was me, his expression showed a bit of surprise. "I have something to talk to you about. Can I come in?" I looked at him. The man nodded. As I walked past him, I seemed to catch a whiff of his aftershave. Oh my god. I wanted to jump him so badly. Faced with such attractiveness, yet unable to act, I noticed his computer was still on the desk, the room filled with the smell of coffee. Working this late, everyone said Logan was a business genius, but who knew how much he put into it? I sighed, feeling an unexpected pang of sympathy. Hearing the door close behind me, I clenched my fists and turned to face Logan. "Thank you for helping me out today." Logan raised an eyebrow, seemingly surprised. "I thought you'd scold me for meddling." "Why would I?" I took a few steps forward. "I'm very glad you took me away." As I finished speaking, the air fell silent for a moment. Logan's eyes darkened slightly. I looked down, suppressing my nervousness. Just now, my roommate called, saying she had to go back to her hometown tomorrow morning. "She'll be back in a week." I bit my lip. "So, could I stay at your place for a week?" "Of course. I wouldn't stay for free. I can pay rent." As soon as I finished, I heard Logan's soft laugh. You think I need your money? Of course. I know you don't need it. I just worry you might not agree. I looked at him, complaining in my mind. He pondered for a moment. Want me to call your father? He might get worried if he can't find you. My heart skipped a beat. As he went to get his phone, I stepped forward and held his hand. You know my dad well. Not really. Just collaborated once or twice. Logan looked down at me, seeing the nervousness in my eyes. He seemed to be waiting for me to say more. No need to call. My parents are out traveling. I made up an excuse. I wasn't sure if it was my imagination, but he had a slight smile at the corner of his lips. All right, but my house has a curfew. You need to be back before 11 at night. I raised an eyebrow at him. Logan spoke casually. When you're with me, I have to ensure your safety. If anything happens, how would I explain it to your father? Turns out, it was because of my dad. I felt a bit disappointed for some reason. As the man turned around, I somehow got the courage to grab him. His enticing lips were right in front of me. Due to our height difference, I was on my tiptoes and could only reach his Adam's apple to kiss it. The man was stunned for a moment. The next second, he pushed me away with a cold face. What are you doing? Just because I helped you out, you throw yourself at me? Or are you using me to make Jack jealous and get back with him? Hearing his angry tone, I felt confused. Just a moment ago, everything seemed fine. I anxiously held on to him. Logan, I'm not doing this because of Jack. Enough. I need to rest. You should leave. I looked up at him. Under the light, his cold face was unbelievably handsome. My plan to seduce him failed. So embarrassing. I slept well that night. When I woke up, it was already late morning. Going downstairs in my slippers, I saw Lily busy in the kitchen. She smiled when she saw me. Miss Mary, you must be hungry. Lunch will be ready soon. I glanced at the stylish wall clock. It was already 11 o'clock. Oh no, will Logan think I'm a pig for sleeping so late? Even I was surprised at how long I slept. I felt a bit guilty and went to help Lily with lunch. She added some seasoning to the chicken soup. The driver Jack isn't around these days, so there's no one to deliver lunch to Mr. Logan. Once the lunch is ready, you can eat first. I'll go take lunch to him. I apologize for the inconvenience. Lily smiled kindly at me. You don't have to be so formal. Just call me 1111. Do you always take care of Logan's meals and living arrangements? Lily nodded, unless it's necessary for social engagements, because Mr. Logan can't get used to outside food. I bit my lip. Lily, let me deliver his lunch today. At 12 noon, I stood outside the company building with the lunchbox. My phone rang at an inconvenient moment. It was Jack calling. He was probably upset I left him hanging yesterday. Without a second thought, I hung up. I finally made some progress with Logan and couldn't let it be disrupted. The receptionist was a pretty girl. When she heard I was there to deliver Logan's lunch, she sized me up discreetly. Then she hung up the phone and smiled warmly. Miss, the president asked you to go directly to his office. Logan's office was on the top floor, the 26th floor. Watching the elevator rise, I felt a bit nervous. He had kicked me out of the room last night. Who knew if he had calmed down? Men can be so difficult, always getting upset so easily. I pursed my lips as the secretary led me to the president's office. Nearing the door, I overheard a clear female voice inside. Logan, I pushed off my schedule to see you today. It's lunchtime now. Let's have lunch together. Her soft voice made my bones feel limp. What was their relationship? I suppressed my jealousy and knocked on the door. The door was opened by the woman. She wore a black short skirt, her long blonde waves cascading down her back, and her face was stunningly beautiful. I recognized her from TV. She seemed to be the popular actress Sue. At this moment, she was leaning on the doorframe, looking at me. Logan, who is she? She looked at me but spoke to Logan, her tone carrying a hint of hostility. Ignoring her gaze, I turned to look at Logan sitting not far away. I brought you lunch, I said. Logan stood up and walked towards me, looking at Sue with a calm expression. I don't have time to entertain you today. You should go. Logan gestured for me to sit on the sofa and opened the lunchbox I brought. Seeing Logan's cold demeanor, Sue's face turned pale. You've never had any women around you before. Logan, do you like this clueless little girl? I felt a twitch at the corner of my mouth, looking at my simple white dress and canvas shoes. I had to admit I was no match in front of this glamorous actress. Who I like is none of your business. Sue, I don't mind calling your agent for a chat. Hearing that, her expression turned ugly. Seeing Logan hand me the chopsticks, she took a deep breath and left with a sour face. Wasn't Lily supposed to deliver the food? Why are you here? Logan asked, bringing me back from my thoughts about Sue. I saw she was busy, and I didn't have anything else to do, I replied. The atmosphere grew quiet, and we silently ate. I glanced at him and tentatively spoke up. That girl just now. Our families are friends. We've known each other since childhood, Logan replied in his usual concise manner. Is she pursuing you? I asked, playing with my rice. Logan looked surprised that I would ask that. Maybe. I never really care about these things. Then what do you care about? My tone was a bit urgent. Logan furrowed his brow, put down his chopsticks, and looked at me with an unreadable expression. His gaze made me feel uneasy. I have something to do this afternoon. I better go, I said. I averted my eyes and stood up, feeling a bit guilty. For some reason, I was afraid to hear his answer. As I pulled the door open and ran out, I almost bumped into Logan's secretary. Facing him, I never felt confident. After arranging an afternoon tea with my best friend, we ended up chatting until it got late. The house was quiet when I returned. I soaked in the bathtub, thinking about everything that had happened over the past few days. Maybe I was too relaxed. Without even realizing it, my eyelids were so tired they kept fighting to stay open, until my consciousness grew fuzzier and fuzzier. I don't know how long it was before I was jolted awake by someone shaking me hard. In a daze, I opened my eyes to see Logan's handsome face. His expression was grim, and his words were almost spat out through clenched teeth. Mary, I really want to know what on earth is in your head. You're willing to kill yourself over a man who doesn't care about you. Do you love him so much you'd throw your life away? His angry voice made my head buzz. Suicide. The next second, he yanked me out of the bathtub. Without even glancing at me, he grabbed a bathrobe and wrapped it around me haphazardly. After spinning me around a bit, Logan dumped me on the bed unceremoniously. That toss snapped me fully awake. Logan, you. Before I could finish my sentence, the man pinned me down tightly. He leaned over me in a suggestive position, but his crimson eyes still carried a trace of fear. How could you? The rest of Logan's sentence seemed too hard for him to utter. Feeling the tremble in his fingers, I froze. You thought I was going to kill myself. Wasn't that it, Mary? For him, is there anything you wouldn't do? Thinking back to the scene he saw when he opened the bathroom door, Logan felt as if his blood had turned to ice. She lay motionless on the bathtub with her hair spread out on the water, looking like a sinister, blooming flower. Realizing she would die for Jack sparked a rush of anger in Logan. Ignoring all notions of propriety, he had rushed in. I shook my still groggy head. Seeing the fear and despair in Logan's eyes made my nose tingle. I just fell asleep while taking a bath, not trying to kill myself. The man looked at me quietly, seemingly trying to judge the truth in my words. Anxiously, I grabbed his hand. Logan, I don't know how to explain this to you. Actually, I don't like Jack. I only approached him because of you. I was afraid you'd be annoyed by my pursuit, so I did this to get your attention. Logan's eyelashes trembled violently at my words. His gaze on me carried an invisible pressure. Then he sneered. Did you think it was fun to play me? I wasn't playing you. I sighed lightly, looking straight at him. Logan stood there motionless for a while. By the time I caught up with what was happening, he had already stood up. Your parents are still in S-City. They didn't go on a trip as you said. I don't care why you lied, but I hope there's no next time. You staying here isn't appropriate. I'll take you back to your parents' house tomorrow. Logan's tone was cold. After his words, he turned away without sparing me another glance, walking straight to the door. My heart clenched violently. Almost without thinking, I hugged him from behind, feeling the stiffness in his back. I just felt my eyes sting dryly. I did lie to you, but it's because I want to stay here. I want to be with you, even if it's only for half a day. Logan, what do I have to say to make you understand that I like you? The next second, the man gripped my chin harshly. He seemed to be holding back his anger. I don't understand. Even if I lied to him, why is he so angry? If I remember correctly, Miss Mary, you were heartbroken over another man a few days ago. Now you say you like me. Is your affection so easy to give, or do you just say things casually? Mary, do you even understand feelings? Answer me. My face went pale. A thought flashed quickly across my mind. Logan, are you jealous? The air turned silent immediately. I could see Logan's pupils shake. Trying to look indifferent, he turned his gaze away. No, I'm not. His reaction confirmed it for me. When he was about to leave, I suddenly pulled his neck down and kissed him. The man froze on the spot. I, however, ignored everything. I continued kissing him deeply, little by little. The next second, Logan pushed me away without hesitation. His eyes were red and his voice trembled. What are you trying to do, exactly? Logan, you can deceive me, but your body can't lie. Just now, when I kissed you, you couldn't help but respond to me. Those subtle, unconscious actions, maybe even you haven't noticed them. You like me, even if you're insanely jealous. You can't resist being near me. Am I wrong? So what? I don't like things that are forced. How do you know it's not sweet until you try it? I don't know who initiated it after that. When I regained my senses, Logan was already kissing me on the bed. I eagerly took off his clothes, revealing his strong 8-pack abs. Under the light, he looked incredibly sexy. When I touched him, Logan groaned. He gripped my chin and kissed me fiercely, a dominating desire to possess threatening to overwhelm me. The heat in the room kept rising. Finally, Logan's deep voice sounded in my ear. Is this okay? I opened my tear-filled eyes and bit his lower lip without hesitation. That silent invitation made everything uncontrollable. The man's hips kept moving. He flipped me over and over, playing with me for a long time, until my voice was hoarse from crying. He carried me to the bathroom to wash. After the storm, I lay lazily on the bed, not wanting to move. Logan's arm tightened around me. Feeling a rush of grievance in my heart, I bit his shoulder hard. Hearing Logan's pained groan gave me an odd sense of satisfaction. Logan, have you never been with a woman before? You're insane. The next second, Logan kissed my lips apologetically. His voice was tender. Did I hurt you? I'm sorry. I'll be gentler next time. Next time, I stared in horror. Feeling my resistance, the man held me even tighter. Don't be mad at me. You can do whatever you want. Logan's gentle tone made my nose sting. I'm mad because you didn't believe me. The man sighed softly. It's not that I didn't believe you. I was just jealous. The thought of how passionately you pursued Jack made me irrational, completely unhinged. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been so harsh on you. Hearing him say this, my heart softened. I turned over to face him and locked eyes with Logan. What about now? I was too caught up in the situation. I should have known you'd never like Jack. Either way, you're mine now. No escaping. Logan hugged me tighter and added with determination. I chuckled softly, feeling sweet inside. In the heat of the moment, I always called his name. It made Logan's veins pop, and he went even harder on me. Our feelings were crystal clear. If he couldn't see it, then Logan would be an idiot. The evening breeze swayed the curtains. I snuggled in Logan's arms, drawing circles on his chest. So, when did you start liking me? The man chuckled and reminisced. Even before you chased after Jack, I noticed you. Then you openly pursued him in our circle, which surprised me. The more I understood, the more I fell for you. I couldn't stand Jack treating you that way. Looking back now, I might have always liked you. I just subconsciously thought you loved him, which made me jealous and uneasy. I smiled gently and hugged him tighter. Seems like my earlier gossip was wrong. I always thought Logan was hard to get, so I used a roundabout tactic to catch his eye. But if I hadn't done that, how could I have made him fall for me so easily? You must be tired. Get some sleep. The man kissed my forehead tenderly. Will I still see you when I wake up tomorrow morning? I clutched Logan's big hand. These wonderful moments felt too fast, too unreal. You will. Marry, you'll never have to worry about finding me again. His promise felt like a reassurance. I felt like I was floating on a cloud and fell asleep in his arms. After Logan understood my feelings, he wouldn't let me move out. He knew all the little lies I told before, but he pampered me and never said a word about it. We spent another sweet half a month together. On Friday evening, Logan sent me a message. He said it was his childhood friend Ken's birthday, and they were gathering at a bar. I pursed my lips. The next second, Logan's message came again. I'll pick you up later, don't be nervous. It's just a private gathering. I replied with a simple okay. Then I picked a white shirt and a short skirt from the closet. By the time Logan's car was downstairs, I had already put on light makeup. Is it appropriate for me to join your guys' gathering? Seeing him open the car door for me, I curiously asked. Logan casually kissed my lips. No worries. Some of them will bring their girlfriends too. Most importantly, I want to introduce you to my old buddies. Hearing that, I smiled. We hadn't been together for long, and he was eager to introduce me to his circle. Isn't this guy a bit too impatient? The bar was as lively as ever, even though I hadn't been there for over half a month. Logan held my hand, pushing open the door. Everyone gave us knowing looks. He casually sat down, his big hand possessively around my waist. Logan, you really are a busy man. Seriously, how many times have I tried to meet you, and you always said you had no time? Seems like you're in the honeymoon phase with our little sister-in-law, and can't stand being apart even for a second. You've got the girl now, and today I'm gonna get you drunk. The one talking was the birthday boy, Ken. The others were unfamiliar faces I hadn't seen before. Judging by their looks, they were close to Logan. The room burst into laughter again. The atmosphere was lively. Logan said nothing, raised his glass, and clinked it with Ken's. He tilted his head back and drank it all in one go. His sexy Adam's apple bobbed, making me feel a bit parched. What a seductive man. Always enticing me. Seeing me staring at him, Logan raised his eyebrow. Stop staring, you're drooling. I absent-mindedly touched my lips. Seeing Logan chuckle, I realized he was teasing me. I angrily tried to tickle him. Logan just laughed and pulled me into his arms, giving me a solid kiss. The surrounding people made suggestive comments. Hey, you two, can't you see anyone else? Come on. I'm the main character today, and I'm already full from eating dog food. Seeing Ken jokingly banging on the table in mock anger, I blushed. Logan smiled and said matter-of-factly, my girlfriend's so beautiful, who else should I look at? Hearing that, I burst into laughter. I'm going to the restroom. Logan tightened his hand around my waist. I'll go with you. Logan held my hand and walked out with me. Someone in the crowd joked. Even going to the restroom together, Logan, we never knew you were so clingy. I think you just want some alone time with our little sister-in-law. Playful, suggestive laughter followed us. I covered my face and walked quickly out. Behind me, Logan's laughter grew more unrestrained. Feeling my face burn, I kept my head down as I walked. Logan quickly pulled me into his arms. They're just close and like to joke around. They mean no harm. Mary, you'll have to get used to it. What will you do with such thin skin? I nodded. Gradually, my face calmed down. His gaze deepened as he looked at me. The next second, he cupped the back of my head and kissed me. His expression softened, the gentle kiss turning into a passionate embrace. After a moment, he pressed his forehead against mine. His voice was deep and husky. Go ahead. I'll wait for you outside the restroom. I nodded. My head was still spinning from his kiss. I stood in front of the mirror to touch up my makeup. I didn't expect it. When I went out, I'd see Jack, who I hadn't seen in days. Right now, he was standing in front of Logan, hands in his pockets. The atmosphere between them felt weird. What was he doing at the bar? I suppressed my confusion and was about to walk over when I heard Jack speak with displeasure. Logan, last time you took Mary away in front of everyone, I thought you were joking. We've been brothers for so long. I've never doubted you. Think about it. Did I call you or say one word about it after that? But today more than one person told me she was brought to the bar as your girlfriend. They're all calling her sister-in-law. Care to explain what's going on? Jack's eyes were cold, his usually clear voice full of suppressed anger. In the next second, Logan's expression was indifferent. What do you want me to explain? Those words seemed to completely enrage Jack. His face darkened dramatically. Mary likes me. She's always been pursuing me. Do you think it's fun to jump in out of nowhere? Logan, are you so desperate for a woman that you have to go after someone else's girl to prove your charm? I can't believe you don't know I like Mary. I'll admit it, I like her to death. I just didn't have the face to accept her back then. You knew all of this, but how did you treat me? Logan watched Jack go crazy with a cold gaze. His expression was stern, his lips pressed into a straight line. Are you done? I'm not done. Jack's face was gloomy. If you like any other woman, I could give her to you. But why do you have to take Mary? She's insignificant to you. She's not the only one for you. Jack hadn't even finished his sentence when he felt the world spinning. Somebody grabbed him by the neck and slammed him against the wall. Logan tugged at his tie with a cold look, his eyes filled with fierce anger. How do you know she's not the only one for me? What if I simply want her? Jack's face went pale at those words. He opened his mouth but couldn't make any sound. Logan stared at him, his gaze dark and intense. And you call that liking her? What kind of twisted liking is that? You took her efforts for granted. Treated her like a dog, ordering her around. Besides trampling on her sincerity and using her as a joke, what else did you do? Jack, why didn't I realize before just how disgusting you are? Since you didn't cherish her, why can't I be with her? Logan's words washed over me like a tidal wave. He was always measured, seldom losing his temper. But now, his face had completely darkened, his eyes like ice. After a long time, I heard Jack's shaky voice attempting to stay calm. How far have you two gone? Holding hands, kissing. With each question, Jack's face grew darker. Seeing Logan staring back at him without backing down, Jack seemed to understand something. A glint of furious rage flashed in his eyes. Logan, if you dared to sleep with her, don't blame me for breaking our brotherhood. My heart skipped a beat. Logan's pale, slender hand clenched tightly. Just before they could start fighting, I quickly ran over and pulled them apart. Jack looked defiant. Without a word, I slapped him. The room fell silent instantly. He turned his head, looking at me in disbelief. You hit me for him? I frowned, feeling a headache coming on. Since we ran into each other today, let's be clear. Jack, I never liked you. Chasing you back then was just to get closer to Logan. I've always cared about him. I'll admit, I did deceive you, but everyone saw how you treated me. There's nothing more to say. We were never together, and your fussing about it only makes you seem unreasonable. Hearing this, Jack's expression completely collapsed. He looked incredulous, wanting to reach for me, but was blocked by Logan. Jack, she's my girlfriend now. A possessive statement. Jack let out a bitter laugh and looked at me. Mary, let me ask you one last time. Was all your pursuit back then a lie? I can't believe it. Did Logan force you to be with him? Tell me the truth, okay? I looked at him quietly. I've always liked Logan. That's the truth. There's no deal between us. No blackmail either. Jack, you're a womanizer. You wouldn't understand our feelings. Let's leave it at that and maintain some dignity. With that, Logan shielded me and walked out of the bar directly. Behind us, Jack slammed a fist into the wall, blood instantly flowing. He seemed numb to the pain, slowly crouching down. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, Logan and I had been together for more than 6 months. I found an intern position at a company. He was worried, picking me up from work in various ways every day. He was extremely busy, yet he still found time to get jealous of my colleagues. Thinking of him, a smile tugged at my lips. They say every pot has its lid, and there was nothing I could do about him. As the new year approached, Logan quickly settled our wedding plans. As the workday ended, I was resting my chin on my hand when a message from Logan popped up. Mary, I have some stuff to take care of tonight. You be a good girl and eat dinner by yourself. I bit my lip and sent back an emoji. Dinner alone felt tasteless. I barely ate a few bites. Walking to my room, I heard my phone ringing non-stop. It was my best friend calling. I picked up the phone, and her urgent voice came through. Mary, I just went out to dinner with my parents. Guess who I saw? I bit my lip, but kept listening to her next words. Your husband. I happened to see him having dinner with a woman. The way she looked at him, it was obvious she wasn't any simple character. Mary, it's understandable that a man like Logan will have women around him, but you guys just got engaged. As a friend, I advise you to stay alert. Don't let anyone with bad intentions take advantage. Hearing this, my heart skipped a beat. I instinctively defended Logan. Maybe she's a client or a friend, but this woman looked oddly familiar, like I've seen her somewhere before. My best friend's suspicious voice came through. The next second, she sent me a photo via Instagram. I opened it and saw it was Ruby. She was sitting across from Logan. Even though they were eating, her eyes were red. I felt a strange unease in my heart. He texted me saying he had to deal with something. So, it was having dinner with Ruby. Thinking of this made me feel jealous. I said I wasn't feeling well and hung up. I sat on the couch for a long time. By the time Logan came back, I was almost asleep. I got up and walked over. As I approached, I smelled a faint perfume on him. Why aren't you sleeping in bed? You'll catch a cold like this. Logan smiled gently at me and wanted to hug me. I took a step back, quietly avoiding his touch. He looked surprised and raised an eyebrow. You've had a long day. You should take a shower first. With that, I turned and sat back on the couch. Logan didn't say anything and headed to the bathroom. When he came out, he felt warm. He scooped me up into his arms, making me straddle his lap. This intimate position made my face flush. He stroked my hair, his eyes full of concern. Lily said you didn't eat much tonight. Are you feeling unwell? Thinking of him having dinner with Ruby made my eyes water. Seeing me like this, Logan panicked. What's wrong? I looked up at him. You said you were busy tonight. Was it to have dinner with Ruby? If you guys were that happy, why do you care if I eat or not? It's none of your business if I starve. With that, I tried to break free from his embrace, but he chuckled and held me tighter. How can you laugh? His attitude made me feel even more wronged. He looked at me deeply. Ruby's going abroad. I was taken aback. Then he continued. She knows about our engagement. She said she's over her feelings for me, that she wants to start fresh abroad. Tonight's dinner was a farewell. I was going to tell you even if you didn't ask. Realizing I had misunderstood him, my face burned with embarrassment. Logan just smiled and kissed me lightly. Like I've told you before, it's only you for me. It makes me happy you're jealous. It shows you care. But sweetheart, we've got a long road ahead. Trust is essential for us to stay strong. I hope you'll trust me more, okay? His gentle coaxing melted my anger. I nodded and hugged him tighter. However, Ruby is a top celebrity here. Leaving everything to go abroad is still bittersweet for me. Feeling conflicted, I sighed. Logan raised an eyebrow. Come on, babe. don't be so sympathetic. Do you really want a woman coveting your husband around? You're still thinking about her. Tonight you gave me a hard time without understanding the situation. And you didn't eat properly. Guess how I'll punish you? My face turned red. Just as I was about to ask about the punishment, he scooped me up and carried me to the bedroom. A night full of love, the moon shyly hiding behind the clouds. I realized how lucky I am to meet someone I love deeply. And lucky me, he loves me back. Holding him, I heard my own heart. Being loved is wonderful. I mean, having you is wonderful. Turns out, happiness is a stitch of countless moments together. With him by my side, even stormy weather feels pleasant.